Hello, hello everyone. How's everyone doing? If you're around, come hang out and learn about how owning your voice not only increases your business, but dramatically improves your relationship. So if you ever feel like you sometimes get nervous speaking up and you sometimes don't share how you really feel, depending on who you're with, sometimes you may feel like you're even a chameleon, that you take on other people's opinions instead of your own just to kind of fit in or just to avoid any sort of stirring up any conflict. And sometimes you might even notice that in conversations with different people or even just online that you just sometimes feel invisible and it doesn't feel all that great. So if you are really craving to turn that around and have the confidence and the courage to speak up and stand out and to own your voice and to know what you stand for and to really speak that with confidence and clarity and know you're supported on the path that that will lead you on. I'm going to share how doing so will incredibly and dramatically increase your business and improve your relationship. So, and I'll share some client stories of what that looks like for you to be able to relate to. So, when you have been in this place where you just kind of feel like maybe you're invisible, or sometimes you try to speak up and then you get talked over and then you just forget it, like you don't want to share, it's not that important. So you end up really dismissing your voice, you dismiss your ideas, you dismiss your values, what's important to you, what you feel called to share. And you might even notice this showing up in your relationships, where if you are married or you're dating someone, that sometimes you just defer to your partner to make the decisions. Or if you get into some sort of disagreement, your default is conflict avoidance, which then creates a lot of resistance. And it starts to create this pattern, this unhealthy pattern in your relationship where you don't really know who you are anymore. The same thing happens in business where you are, especially in the online world, if you're on the online world in business, you feel like you're just like everyone else, that you're not really saying anything all that different. And of course, that makes it easy for people just to pass on by, which isn't good for business, nor is it good for your psyche and your sense of self. So when this is happening, and it happens, at various points, and sometimes it'll go up and down. But when you notice this, some of the traditional methods to address this include, reading lots of books about how to be more assertive, or, enrolling in some courses on how to gain clarity and confidence. And even, you may have sought out, therapy or coaching to really help you, uncover what it is that's holding you back. And a lot of these traditional methods don't have long-term, long-lasting solutions. And the reason is that when you are seeking sort of like a quick fix or like a band-aid, what really happens here is that you're really looking for knowledge. You want to learn something different. You want a new awareness. But when you're just seeking knowledge, you're coming from the head and you're also coming from something's wrong that needs to be fixed. And when this happens, you might have a quick fix, but then you never really get to the root of the issue. And so to really resolve this at a, cellular level, so to speak, you need to go deeper. You need to connect with the heart, with the spirit, and the information, the new awareness needs to come through relationship. So it's not something you can do just by watching a video, by reading a book. You really need to be guided to go deeper, because on our own as humans, our default is the path of least resistance. So on our own, we're not going to want to dig deeper. It's not comfortable. And oftentimes it can be quite scary because you never know what you might find. And the imagination can play wonders on you and convince you don't want to know what you're going to find. And so how to really shift this is to really, hey, Mark, how's it going? Is to really be guided at a much deeper level, so that you're addressing this from the heart, you're addressing this from the spirit, and you're also willing to uncover, what is the root of this, sort of pattern of invisibility, of censoring yourself, of holding back, of not wanting to make waves and being afraid of conflict, basically, or disagreement. And to be able to be guided to that, it doesn't end with the head and it doesn't end with behavior. So, how this needs to change is really changing how you see yourself and being able to see yourself from a higher perspective, because who you are determines what you do, not the other way around. And so, if who you are being is a person who is constantly seeking solutions and constantly coming from a place of something's not working, then you're going to continue to repeat patterns and take actions that align with looking for being stuck, basically. And so being able to change how you see yourself and to see yourself from a higher perspective, how you are designed to be, by God, that changes because your confidence comes from knowing God's plans for you can't fail because God can't fail. So it gives you a confidence that you have never experienced before. So you're willing to take actions that before felt really scary and uncomfortable. You're willing to speak up and stand out and to have those challenging conversations in ways you never had before, because who you are being is different. And so of course that will change what you're doing. And so being able to have someone that can guide you through this is invaluable, because it does require a relationship to really have that deeper healing and transformation. So some client examples, one of my clients was in this pattern of thinking, business wasn't working, and just kind of relegated herself to not doing much for her business because it was no longer bringing her any joy. And it was affecting her relationship, her marriage, because she was kind of taking a different role where instead of being on equal standing with her husband, she kind of set herself a little bit below and kind of elevated him in some respects. And once we did this work, she completely changed, because what we did was really go deeper and uncover, of course, this pattern and to root it out and to see the gifts in it. And then to see how those gifts were uniquely designed to help her help clients in a way that no one else could, because she was picking up on things that no one else did. And she knew the right actions for them and the right guidance to give them for them to have major transformations. And before, she couldn't see it. She was stuck in this view of herself that had kept her very limited. As she changed this, then her marriage completely changed, where her husband started to elevate how he saw her. And so when she spoke about her work, she did a video. She had multiple people reach out to her, had a woman get on the phone with her immediately and hire her immediately into a program she had and I had just designed. Another woman, sort of similar story, was just kind of wrestling with, really defining how she worked and the outcomes, and just getting really nitty gritty with the transformation that she was facilitating for her clients. So we got deeper into that and to really see her gifts from a higher perspective and the value of working with her from a different perspective. She did the same thing. So she reached out actually to an old client who she hadn't even thought about, but came to her because she had this elevated perspective of her work and herself. And the client enrolled in a program with her. So both of these women, within a couple days, I think the first one was 72 hours, second one was 48 hours, had more than doubled. The second one tripled her investment with me within less than a week, which is pretty incredible. So I decided it was time for me to offer this again. So this is a voice, vision, and gifting alchemy session. So we get together for 1 hour. Before we get together, once you book your session with me, I send you a pretty extensive inventory for you so that you could fill it out and get more even clarity by filling it out. And then we get together, I'll have had time to review it and to really design, what we're going to work on in our session. In our session, you'll be able to, uncover your gifts and really articulate your vision and clarify the 3 steps you need to take and immediately to start to put that into action. And then we'll be in touch throughout the week through Instant Messenger so that you have that support implementing the whole week, so that you're getting your movement, you're getting your traction, you're taking the right actions, and you're taking it from the right perspective, so that you are being who God created you to be. And in doing so, that will change what you do. So I'm going to open this up to 10 10 slots. So if you're interested in this, let me know. It's only 277, which is an amazing deal. You will absolutely get way more than that in value and in return on investment if you are in sales. So definitely consider this, ponder it, feel into your heart if this is the right thing for you, because this is a great time to do it. We're at this time of year where it's no longer okay, especially as you come into the holidays, to feel like you are just kind of going through the motions and kind of hiding and not really sharing what you really think, and feeling like people don't really pay attention to you and you get ignored, and it starts to really weigh on you. And if you really are craving that sense of purpose and having, a clear, defined path, and knowing that you're supported in that path, and you're supported in speaking confidently and boldly about what it is that you do, and the change you're here to make, and your unique contribution, then definitely I would encourage you to book a call with me and we'll get that scheduled, and we'll have you making big changes, owning your voice, improving your relationships, increasing your business right in time for not only the holidays, but just transitioning out of this year and into the next year. Let me know if you have questions, and if you have any ahas and takeaways. I'd love to hear what's going on for you, where you are wrestling with really owning your voice, and really what it would look like for you to change that. Because I'm going to tell you, it changes everything, friends. Everything. All right. Awesome to hang out with you. Talk to you again soon. Bye.